Is the fear of gaining weight stopping you from healing your relationship with food? I know that for anyone who's struggling, perhaps they're binge eating, emotional eating, perhaps you struggle with bulimia or restrictive eating behaviours, at the core of it, the fear of weight gain is there. And dieting behaviours are giving you that sense of control where you feel like at least that's one thing that you can do to make everything feel like you're in control. However, I know that for many of you who are struggling with disordered eating behaviours of any type, whether it be chronic dieting or binge eating, whatever it is, that there are a lot of feelings of distress. There are feelings that it's taking a lot from you. There's 24/7 thoughts about food, about dieting, about your weight. It's taken over your life, and perhaps in many, many ways. But many of you might feel that even though all these things are impacting your life, you still feel quite conflicted, because yet that intense fear of giving up dieting, of thinking that you will gain weight, that your body will change if you do so, is stopping you from moving forward and from finding freedom in your life and finally feeling free and doing the things that you want to do in life. So I just thought I would talk to you today about 5 things that you can consider if this is something you're struggling with. So first of all is to understand where that fear of weight gain has come from. Well, unfortunately, in the society that we live in, there is that common narrative around thinness equating to worthiness. And diet culture is very much about leading to that fixation that you have to strive to shrink your body in order to feel worthy, in order to be lovable, in order to be healthy. And very often this has come from your early years, perhaps when you were a child and your parents may have unintentionally made you feel like actually you wouldn't be worthy unless you were in a smaller body. So it's not to blame your parents, but just understanding where that's come from. But obviously with social media as it is, that can really drive that fear. If that's something that you notice is making you feel anxious, then it's worth just identifying that. So there is also the fixation on weight loss at any cost. To think about, what is the cost of your fixation on weight loss? Think about what has impacted your life with this fixation. Have you lost connection, social connection with other people, perhaps friendships? Perhaps you have lost connection with your family. Perhaps you would like to regain connection with your children. Perhaps it's something that you fear that you're going to be passing on this distress to your children as you grow up. Perhaps there's many things in your life that you used to love doing and you no longer are able to do them. You don't have the headspace to do the things that you love, that will bring you joy and fulfillment in your life. So it's important to think about those things to help you move forward. It's also really important to challenge the notion that to gain weight is a bad thing and to lose weight is always a good thing. Now, it is very nuanced, okay? Gaining weight does not necessarily mean it's a bad thing. For some people who have problems with their hormones, that perhaps they've lost their period, things like that, gaining weight is actually a helpful thing. Weight is there for a good reason. There are many people that sadly have lost weight unintentionally. You don't know why that is. They may be very ill, perhaps a cancer sufferer, perhaps they do have an eating disorder, perhaps, there's so many different reasons why losing weight actually is not necessarily always the best thing. And it's important to challenge that notion, because we're very much that sort of all or nothing belief around weight, that we don't really challenge it. The other thing to think about is that yes, it can be uncomfortable for change to happen, to not know what's going to happen in the future. And it's that not knowing about, that uncertainty about what will happen if I do something different to dieting, if I make a change, if I step forward and I move forward and embrace this new way of thinking, of doing, what will happen? It feels very uncertain, and that brings on that sense of loss of control. But actually, if you can step forward into that discomfort and sit with it, that's where your personal growth will really, really happen. And that's where you can really empower yourself, because actually staying where you are to be comfortable really shrinks your world. But if you can step out of that and move forward, your world will grow around you. And the other thing is to challenge your internal dialogue. What things are you saying to yourself? Are you treating yourself with compassion? The likelihood is that you're not. So what you need to do is start to talk to yourself and think about yourself as you would with somebody that you really love and care about. Talk to yourself kindly to help yourself move forward away from just these destructive thoughts about your body and about diets and fear around that. If you can do that, that will really help you to stop any sabotaging behaviours and move forward. Now, I know for many people, they think that perhaps if they stop the dieting, they're much more likely to gain weight. And I'd just like to say that everybody is different, and there are reasons why people might gain weight in different circumstances. But actually, for many people, the dieting that leads to binge eating behaviours, to overeating at times when you fall off the wagon, the yo-yo dieting actually creates the problem with your metabolism. So I've spoken about this many times, so do catch up on other videos that I've done around this. But please know that for many people, they allow their metabolism to heal. The opposite will happen of their fears. Actually, they certainly are eating in a more balanced way. They're not binging on the binge foods and the foods that are less helpful, and feeling much more satisfied. Then they are likely to see that their weight has not gone up, certainly, and that it might stabilize to where they want it to be. But that is never my focus, because we want to focus on healthful behaviors. We want to focus on behaviors that help people to feel better in their self, in their body, in their mind, and emotionally. And all these things can help you to feel much more like you are a worthy and valuable person, which you are, and it's not connected with how thin and small your body is. I hope that helped you. I look forward to seeing you again soon.